Have you ever noticed when conservatives start talking about gayness, they start talking about homo sex? Give you an example. I was recently listening to a report on NPR about the new measure in California to teach about gay history in schools. Seems quite normal. I don't know, from my perspective, because I don't know, we've done things in history like organize a march on Washington, or the numerous, gay and lesbian, bisexual, transgendered identity folks who have fought for civil rights in many ways, bridged many cultures and many unsung ways. And so I was listening to this report on NPR's Tell Me More, and this conservative, I assume he was conservative because he sounded quite ridiculous, conservative Christian preacher was asked what he thought of it, and he started talking about gay sex. I was like, well, why would someone be talking about Harvey Milk in school and start talking about Harvey Milk's sex life? It's like saying George Bush decided to annihilate, Muslims in the Middle East, and George Bush has sex with this woman called Laura. Hello. It's like saying that, well, Genghis Khan, and Genghis Khan had sex. Think about it. And it's occurred to me that the conservatives start talking about gay sex all the time because maybe I have a theory about it. Maybe they think that gay sex is more satisfying than straight sex, and they're fearful that gays do something wonderful in bed that straight people don't do. I don't know. Or maybe it has more to do with their own fears about sex, because maybe they feel inadequate. I don't know, but I'm only guessing based on what you would, if you would look at a basic psychological profile, if people start projecting onto the other, it probably has to do with their own insecurities and nothing to do with the actual status of the other. Now, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and this is actually the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night. It is so troublesome to me to be exposed to such rhetoric, because why would you go into a school and start talking about notable things that gays have done? And it's not to say that the only gays we should be talking about are those who have, written books or, led masses or, those kind of things. But it is to say that we are ignoring them. There are numerous unsung heroes in our societies that we just refuse to look at. And to see the sex phobia, all the sex mania that heterosexuals, because you never see homosexuals going to such a debate and saying, well, we have sex, da 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 da. We start talking about love. We start talking about relationships. And yet straight people always narrow this debate down to sex. And it makes me think, my God, what do they think of, what do they think of us? But just like I said, when people start projecting those kind of things, it's like, well, what do they think of themselves? I'm like, well, do they think that heterosexuality is all about sex? Oh, so we start talking about priests. In the Catholic Church, yeah, we do start talking about pedophiles. We do start talking about, Southern Baptist ministers, well, oh yeah, we do start talking about womanizers. And when we start talking about popular culture, oh yeah, you can't even sell a car without a woman having to expose her breast. You can't even sell, toilet cleaner without having to show a so-called normal heterosexual family, the implication being that this is the kind of sex that they have. So you couldn't even sell a toilet cleaner with an individual saying, I just want to clean my own toilet. No, it has to be an individual cleaning a toilet for some normal family. And you know who's cleaning the toilet. Not the man, because, well, he's off busy doing something that supposedly men do. It's a woman who's stuck at home. And so after 2,000 years, hint, hint, I'm not going to talk about where that number comes from, but after 2,000 years of thinking one way, of thinking that God only had one child and chose to have a male because males are superior. It's some kind of, male inferiority complex. It says that that we are made in God's image. I mean, why would we be so arrogant as to think that that God would want to look like us? I mean, why wouldn't God want to look like an ant? Or why wouldn't God want to look like an aardvark? Why wouldn't God be so awesome that God is in all these things? So, these are things that you have to question, and they are linked. When you start to hear these really banal kind of arguments about, we're not going to teach kids about gay sex. Well, the fact is, these are the same folks that won't teach kids about any kind of sex. And lo and behold, you have, the number of unwanted pregnancies. I come to you from bathroom because it occurs to me that there's something gay about me standing here in my bathroom waiting for the conservatives to say that. But I really want you to go to your news outlets, and when you hear anything about gay rights come up and you hear these so-called conservatives speak, ask them, why are you speaking about gay sex? You're the one who's bringing up sex. Sex, as if we're incapable of love. And when people start calling you incapable of love, you must ask them, well, why are you projecting your insecurities onto me? Because I'm capable of love. My mama loves me. My daddy loves me. I love them. I love, my family. I love my friends. I love myself. I love my life. So if all you think that, even take me for example, as a gay person, if all you think that I do when I start talking about rights is thinking about what I might or might not do sexually, then you have a problem, not me.